Hey guys, and welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and let's just say I don't have this Botania flower on my head for nothing. Today, we're getting into Botania, so I hope you guys are ready. So today, we're going to kind of dive into one of my favorite mods called Botania. Yes, it is exactly what gives me the flower on the top of my head. That is actually a pure daisy, even though it is a orange-yellow colored pure daisy. I wanted it to kind of look like a dandelion. Anyways, up here, I have been working on a little bit of an area for it. This is my gazebo for Botania. Yes, it is somewhat fancy. I don't know. It's very simple. Super simple, but it definitely gave me a use for the mangrove. And these look like shingles, even though I do know there are real shingles in here. This ebony looks really good. And I kind of wanted to hang something from here, but I got to thinking, you know what? I'm not going to hang stuff from here because I have to get my Botania stuff working. And I think I'm going to use these corner pieces here in order to do that. And we're going to basically set up some kind of network to send mana into here. And this is where my mana pull is actually going to go. So I want this to inevitably be like my Botania gazebo. Yes, gazebo gang. That's what we're... Yeah, if you're not a part of gazebo gang, I don't know who you are. But to get started with Botania, let's just do this. All we need is bone meal, and because this is sort of changed, look at that. We can just make a bunch of the floral fertilizer here with regular, just bone meal. All you need is bone meal. And that gave us 16. I think we can make a flower pouch. That would probably be really nice from Botania, just so we can kind of keep track of what flowers we've picked up already. But yeah, all we gotta do with this is just, place on the ground, and bam, we have Botania flowers. This is the quickest way, in my opinion, to get all the different variants of Botania flowers that we're gonna need, and get all the different Botania petals. So yeah, go ahead and break these down, and then once you get enough, as you can see, when you have the bag in your inventory, the flowers go in your bag. So it's a good way to be able to keep track of which ones you have and don't have, because I recommend having at least one of all of them. So to make petal duplication really quick, let me kind of go over how petal duplication works just real quick, and then I'll talk about how this setup actually works. So to get petal duplication going, you can see we have 2 petals that we just got. I can place those 2 petals down, and what we can do, let me grab the bone meal out of here, is we can actually bone meal these and turn them into double tall plants. Then all we have to do is shear them. We get those double tall plant variants, and that 2 petals now turned into 8. Yes, it works just like that. That is how the petal duplication works. Now, if you want to set up a very quick farm for it, you can do something like this. I have a redstone clock that is just set to 1 tick duration, 2 delay. I mean, I don't recommend leaving this on forever. I will probably break this once I'm done. But the dispenser here, we want to fill one of them with our bone meal. The other one we're wanting to fill with the petals. And then what we can do is just sit here and farm this. And you can hit the top. So you can just sit there and hold down right click until this is done. And what you're going to get is a bunch of those tall variants. You can just throw it back in here and rinse and repeat. So long as you have enough bone meal in order to supply this, you should be fine. And it's a pretty quick way of doing this. So after getting all the petals I need, now is the time to get started with the petal apothecary. We have a lot of work ahead of ourselves as far as doing the petal apothecary thing. I don't even know what you would call this. Infusing petals? Magic. It's magic. Let's just call it magic. So we're just need a bucket because we're going to be doing some transmutation. We're going to be basically converting one material to another. So 4 petals. It's so crazy that I have these memorized. But we need to make some pure daisies. I recommend more than one. One will get you by, but I recommend more than one. Also, if you have an empty hand, of course, you can always place a bucket in and you're ready to go. Just like this. And you can actually kind of speed this up too. So if you kind of get in a rhythm, bam, place it. Honestly, separating this would probably be even quicker. Look at this. Place the water, hand, drop it. Look at that. 5. We have 5 pure daisies. I'm probably going to make more than that just to speed things up for me. 6 will be fine. Now it's just finding the space for 6 of these. Yeah, that's maybe over here. This seems like actually a pretty decent place. I just need to clean up some of the foliage that I placed down. in order to get this to work. So basically what we need is stone, just regular stone. I might need to smelt some more up. That shouldn't be too difficult though. And then pure daisies, which is that lovely flower that is actually on my head, except for this one is not your standard white color. And yeah, and all we got to do, break this, place the flowers like so. So here's one, skip two, give it enough space. There we go. And last but not least, this one, which goes here. Perfect. So we can do a couple of things with this. We can use regular stone and logs. So logs are going to work great. I'm going to go ahead and use oak. And it doesn't matter what direction you place these in. You can place them on the side. You can place them like this. It doesn't matter as far as that goes. The building edge is also a nice little tool to help you place this in. If that's something you're interested in doing. I'm going to go ahead and get this done. And also in the middle, like if you want to switch this out, you can put both in. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to go ahead and just throw the rest of the stone. This is going to give us living wood and living rock, and we're going to need quite a bit of it in order to get started. So it takes a little bit of time. It will convert, and then I'll just use our excavator to nab it all up. Oh, and by the way, this is what it looks like as it's converting here. Yeah, it's going to do it in the order that you placed it in. So, and here goes the stone. There it goes. So like I said, all we got to do is ore excavate this. Bam, pick it all up. Same goes for this. Ore excavate it, pick it up, and then just replace it. So of course, to get started, bam, mana pool. That's just one of several things we're going to need. We're also going to need some mana spreaders. So we need to spread that mana around. I'm going to start off with 4 for right now. We have our mana pool. We have some mana spreaders. What else do we need? Well, we are going to need some way to generate some mana. And to do that, we're going to need to use some petals. Now, a good starting thing to use is I'm always going to suggest this, is Endoflames. Endoflames will get you where you need to go. It can get you into late game. These Endoflames are absolutely amazing if done right. But it does require a little bit of work to get them. So you're going to need the 4 petals. You're going to need a light gray and a red. And of course, a seed to cap that all off with. So red petals. Brown, and I also recommend about 6 of them per mana spreader, per the base mana spreader. You probably don't want more than 6 on one individual mana spreader, at least as of starting off, because then you're just going to end up wasting fuel to fuel these, because these are basically like coal generators or like RF generators. Because technically, you could generate RF with the mana that you're producing here, and you can actually generate quite a bit of RF. If done right. So, light gray petal, that is our other one. And then last but not least, I think that's about it. Yeah, we need 2 brown, 1 red, and 1 light gray petal. That's pretty much it. We need seeds. Not sads, seeds. And then we're good to go. And a bucket. So usually I like to clear off my hotbar here. And I like to kind of lay these out in a specific sort of way. So the way they're in my hotbar. And then I can just use the bucket and then drop the seeds. So right there. I don't know what the advancement for that is. Craft a mana pool to store mana? Oh, okay. So let's go ahead and craft these. Very simple. Just like we did a second ago. Place the bucket in here. Drop 2 of the brown, 1 there, 1 there. And then hit it with a seed. Now we have an Endoflame. But I just want to go ahead and make these real fast. Bam. Just like this. And then you just keep repeating the process. And it becomes kind of second nature after you do it a few times. So we can just right click with an empty hand and it automatically fills in the pool there. So now that I have all of my Endoflames ready to set up, we need to make ourselves a wand. Now this wand is what's going to allow us to pretty much change just about everything. But we need to, of course, give it some colors. So let's go to Botania. Let's find some petal colors that I want. I don't know, I'll do my the same that I always love, which is the orange and light blue, or cyan. I sometimes go cyan as well. But this wand is going to allow us to link all kinds of stuff that is involved with Botania, of course. So one thing I really like to do is I like to take petal apothecaries and use them as a means of which to hold up the mana spreader. It just kind of makes it look a little bit better, and it also fits a little bit inside of this. So all you have to do is place it on top. If I can, of course, click it on top properly. Can I? There we go. So yeah, just get it on top of the mana spreader, or sorry, get it on top of the Petal Apothecary, just like that. And it just makes it look a little bit better. At least I think so. I don't know. That's just something that I had been doing for a little while. Now I need to get the mana pool in the center of this. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and link these. Now, to link, this is where that wand comes in handy. We shift right click on it, and then we just shift right click on this to link. So shift right click and then shift right click. So you'll see that this has a bound around it, and then you can now also, while holding the wand, see what it is pointed at. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all shifted there. Eventually we'll change this up. We'll have multiple mana spreaders. You can see I placed dirt over here, but you don't have to do that. Technically, this should be able to work even lower than it is and be able to link. It has a little bit of range on it. I'm going to try my best to show that, but if we place these down around a mana spreader, it should automatically link to that mana spreader. And all we got to do is get at least 6 of them down in a fashion. So I recommend, like I said, 6 per mana spreader. Same goes over here. So long as I get roughly 6 down on each one, which I have just enough petals to do so. And then I'll show you that, hey, they are actually linked. So I kind of went with this like sort of an organic kind of look here. But if I kind of hover over this with this, and I can just actually click on them if I wanted to update, you can see that they are linked. You can see that it highlights what they're linked to, and there'll be a little check mark next to what they're connected to. And they do a good job of connecting to the proper mana spreader. Now, to get these to work, that's pretty simple. We just need coal. Luckily for me, we have tons of coal because coal is on automatic for us. We have all of these coal bees that have been just producing so much coal, and boy, they're totally going to produce enough for this. More than enough. I'm also going to turn my magnet off. But you should see they'll activate, and that's going to start pumping out this. I'm going to throw down some more coal. I do recommend coal blocks, by the way, if you can afford coal blocks. Just toss a stack down for right now, and just let it do its thing. Of course, don't leave a stack there. That's not the best way to go about this. But that will get it up and running for you. And it'll start your little mana production, so that way you can upgrade this, because you don't want to stick with just a single mana pool. We actually want to upgrade this and have 4 mana pools being going on at once, which is going to kind of spread this out and allow us to store a bit more. So I have a little bit of redstone work ahead of me. I need to get this automated pretty much. So I need to automatically drop coal onto here and into these little holes that I just created. Not really into the hole, but onto a pressure plate. And I need to get that to be read up here to a dropper. And I don't want it to be like super ugly either. So this could pose a little bit of a challenge, but I think I'm up to the challenge. I have a little bit of redstone stuff in my inventory here to get this to work. What I want to do is I want to see, does this work? If we have a pressure plate and an item lands on the pressure plate, right? Can we read that signal with a redstone receiver? As much as I know about redstone, I always forget what things can do. So does that emit? Yes, it does. Okay, so good. So what I can do here is I should be able to underneath this block put a transmitter. So we're going to have a receiver and a transmitter. Basically, we need to detect, hey, there's an item here, so send a signal, and that signal will shut a hopper off and stop it from sending items further. And it's going to get those items from an ender chest. And the ender chest is going to be pumped with charcoal blocks, and we're going to set up the auto crafting for that as well. So another thing we're probably going to need, which I haven't even made yet, is going to be a living wood. Let's see, living wood crate. I think it's called a crate. So we need to make planks, and then we just basically surround it like this, and we get ourselves something called an open crate. And an open crate is really nice, but the problem is it just constantly drops items. There's no way of stopping it other than to stop the item that's feeding it the items first. So hopefully you guys understand that. To set this up, I am going to place, I guess, a couple of blocks here. I kind of want it to be like in this general area so I can connect it to here and kind of make it look functional, like it's actually being connected. So maybe right here is going to be a good spot for this. Now, on top of that is going to be a hopper. And then I need some way to get this redstone transmitter to connect to the hopper in some form. I'm probably just going to have it hooked to the side. There's really not much else I can do. And then on top of that is going to be this black ender chest. So with all that setting here, hopefully we can disguise this in some form or fashion, whether that be vines or whatever, but we should be able to kind of cover this up. The only thing that's going to look weird is probably going to be our redstone receiver that is going to go up there, because that does need to be hooked to this hopper. So the redstone magic is going to go as such. We have a redstone transmitter and a redstone receiver. We need to place the transmitter. Look at the bottom of the block to place the transmitter. Right click a receiver on here. Make sure you take it out of the stack and then go up top. And I just am placing this so it's facing that hopper. And yes, that's pretty much it. And I'm going to try my best to disguise this later on. But right now it is, yeah, it's just kind of there. And there's nothing I can really do about it. But what should happen is when I hit this pressure plate, that should detect that there's redstone from here and send that redstone into that hopper. That is pretty much it. That's all the redstone magic. It's I know it's it is Hogwarts level stuff here. Let's go ahead and do the same to this one, and honestly just the same to the other one. It's make sure you create separate channels, because of course you don't want that redstone activating this one and vice versa. You want to make sure it's on the right one, because what we want is when a coal block is used up, then I want it to drop one. That is the whole reason we're setting this up. Pretty straightforward. Oh, I forgot to see right there. I already forgot to do the thing. Forgot to right click this to set it to channel 4, and you'll know you've done it right if you have 4 channels, because I mean that's exactly what we set up here. So to test this out, right? I need to basically place a coal block here. Let me place a coal block on the pressure plate. And that should lock this hopper. And this technically should not drop anymore. Well, of course, it's going to consume it. You can see it's consuming, but it's stopping. Otherwise, it would continuously drop. Now, it is dropping 2. And it's always done that with this redstone signal setup here. I don't know why, but you will get 2 that will drop. But I think that's fine. You know, over time, these take a long time to despawn anyways. And by that time, hopefully, our endo flames are going to consume it. So when set up properly, when stuff goes in this ender chest, you can see they are all now activating. And we're getting exactly what we want from this. An automated mana farm. Now, this isn't the only thing I need to do. Of course, I need to now get auto crafting set up so that way we can turn coal into coal blocks and have them automatically sent to this ender chest. So to do this, all we have to do is simply grab coal, create a crafting recipe for it that's set to exact, which is fine. Put a pattern in, lock that block pattern for coal, place that inside of our actual crafter, and then all we got to do is set up another ender chest, similar to the one that we have here, and then also place that exporter on it, except this time we put the crafting upgrade in here, and then we specify that we want a block of coal to be exported. Now, the thing that will happen here is if I have, I don't know if I can pull all this coal out. Let's put it in my bag. I want to just kind of show that this will start to craft. Can I open this? I want to pull all this out as well. Coal. I just want to kind of demonstrate here that this will start crafting blocks of coal out of the 2K that we have. So if we set this to a block of coal, coal is going to start being crafted out of the 2K we have here. You can see this number going down. That's because it is auto crafting, because this crafting card basically says, hey, anything that's in here and that I don't have currently in my inventory, craft if it can be crafted and has a crafting recipe available, which is amazing. It can also be controlled by redstone. There's a lot of cool things. So don't think that refined storage is lacking in its auto crafting ability, because it's all here. I absolutely love this. And the fact that this is even available is really, really nice. Now, time to get all those blocks of coal that we've built up over the era of playing this so far. Yeah, the several days worth of gameplay here. Let's go ahead and throw this back in there. And we have automated Botania mana at the moment. Yes, and we're going to need that. We're going to need it. And we're not even close to being done just yet. Mana pools. Let's go ahead and grab some living rock. And we need to make Let's see, 3 more pools. And then we also need to make this, if I can find it in my list. One thing, we're going to need to make a mana tablet if we have enough mana available. But it's this right here, a mana splitter. So we're going to need 2 mana steel. I think we have that. Perfect. So yeah, we don't even have to worry about it. Now, what do we need for the mana tablet? Because I don't want to waste the mana I have. So we can use a diamond or ender pearl. I'm going to go ahead and just grab an ender pearl. And then we just need to surround that. So let's go ahead and close this off. And let's go pull out the mana that we currently have and store that in our tablet, because right now we have a lot of mana already built up inside this pool. This is kind of ridiculous. So I want it to spare. So we got to shift right click this to spare mana to our tablet. And let's go ahead and make that tablet by tossing that in there. And living rock. Told you we're going to need a lot of living rock. And this will make a mana tablet. And then basically we can drain all of this mana out of here. So that we can create a different kind of setup. I want all of my mana spreaders to go into a mana splitter and split that between 4 separate pools. So all you have to do to set that up is just place your mana pools outside of this and then relink these to the mana splitter. And as you can see, it is hitting the mana splitter and then being shared between all 4 pools. That'll just provide a bit more buffer space. When we go to craft things, we'll have the stuff available. And then later on when we go to make batteries, it'll just make things even easier. Now, we could make this even faster by sort of doubling up our mana spreaders. We might work on that next episode. We are going to need pretty much 6 Indo Flames per mana spreader. And we can place the mana spreaders technically on these mangrove fences here and sort of use this back area for our Indo Flames. I mean, we have automation for it, so might as well use it. So notice today's video was a little bit shorter, but as you can definitely tell, I am not the least bit unfamiliar with Botania. So getting through Botania pretty quickly is not a problem for me normally. But I definitely wanted to share a few of the bits and tips that I tend to use when getting into Botania. So I want to thank today's sponsor, and that of course is going to go to, if I can get this in, it's going to be Devin Twine. So Devin Twine, thank you so much. I do appreciate you. And if you're interested in becoming a Patreon yourself, of course, you can find that link down in the description below. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Of course, if you did, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also give this video, guys, a huge thumbs up. I, of course, really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next episode. And as always, thanks for watching.